Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bliss and Mischief podcast. I'm your host, Amy. And the older I get, the more I think about the younger version of myself. The one who used to stay up until 3 a.m. dancing, talking about everything and nothing. The one who loved throwing dinner parties and going on random adventures. Not because I miss staying up late or being spontaneous. I actually like going to bed at a reasonable hour now, and random adventures and dancing into the wee hours sounds pretty exhausting. But what I miss is her, the person who had that kind of energy and openness, that lightness, the version of me who hadn't learned to be so careful yet, who trusted people more easily, who hadn't had her heart broken in ways that teach you to protect it. I also miss the version of me whose body just worked, who could dance all night without paying for it for the next 3 days, who didn't think twice about lifting heavy things or running upstairs, whose body felt like home, not something that needed to be managed. And sometimes I catch myself wondering, where did she go? When exactly did I stop being her? And here's the part that nobody really talks about. That version of you, you're not getting her back. All of the growing you've done, the surviving, the hard earned wisdom, it came at a cost. And the cost was her. There are parts of who you were that had to die so you could become who you are now. And sometimes your body had to change too. Childbirth, illness, injury, through the simple accumulation of years. And sometimes, even when you're grateful for who you've become, even when you wouldn't go back, you still miss what you lost along the way. The trust that came easier, the hope that felt endless, the body that moved without pain. The version of you that didn't carry what you carry now in your heart or in your bones. Today, we're going to talk about that loss, about why you can't just find yourself again, about what it means to grieve not just who you were, but what your body used to be able to do, and about how to move forward when parts of you want to go back to someone and somebody you can't return to, because you're not broken for feeling this. You're awake. Here's the mischief. The lie that says personal growth means leaving the past behind. There's this idea that if you're really evolved, if you've really done the work, you shouldn't still be looking back. You shouldn't still feel pulled toward who you used to be because growth is supposed to go up, right? Every year, you're supposed to be wiser, stronger, more healed, a better version. So when you catch yourself missing the girl who laughed louder, who loved harder, who hadn't learned to doubt everything yet, you feel like you're failing at being who you are now. And when you catch yourself missing the body that could run without knee pain, that could lift your kids without throwing out your back, that didn't need 8 hours of sleep just to function, you feel worse because now you're not just mourning a mindset, you're mourning a physical capacity. And people really don't want to hear about that. Your body knows it too because there's this heaviness in your chest when you think about her, a tightness in your throat when you remember what it felt like to move through the world without all of this weight, emotional and physical. And sometimes it's a literal ache, like homesickness, but for a person and a body that you were. And I know people mean well, and they hit you with the everything happens for a reason, or you're so much stronger now, or at least you're alive speech when you dare mention what you lost. And sure, maybe. But since when does being strong or grateful to be alive mean you're not allowed to miss being soft or the body you used to live in? We treat missing our old selves like it's a weakness, like it means we haven't properly moved on from our own lives. And God forbid you say it out loud that you miss who you were before the thing that changed you, before loss, diagnosis, pregnancies, your chronic illness that rewired everything. People look at you like you're going backward, like you're being ungrateful, like you need to be reminded of how far you've come. You didn't forget. You just miss her anyway, and you miss what she could do. The lie is this: you're not allowed to want what you can't have anymore, even when what you can't have is you, and even when what you can't have is the body that you used to live in. Here's the truth, the bliss GIF. Missing who you used to be and what your body used to be able to do doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're paying attention. You're not stuck in the past. You're recognizing that something real was lost, and loss deserves to be felt even when the loss is you. Because here's what nobody's going to tell you about change: it's not just adding things, it's not just becoming more. Sometimes it's losing things. Sometimes becoming who you are now meant losing parts of who you were, and those parts mattered. The version of you that trusted easily, she was real. The one who had more hope and more energy, more belief that things would work out, she existed. And she wasn't stupid, foolish, or less than. She was you, and she's gone. And the body that carried you through your 20s, the one that could pull all-nighters and bounce back, the one that could dance for hours, hike for miles, carry groceries and children and all of your responsibilities without breaking down, that body was real too. And it's different now, maybe gone entirely. And that's not dramatic, it's just true. You didn't choose to lose her. Life chose for you. Trauma, heartbreak, time chose. Childbirth, illness, injury, and age, those things chose. The things that happened to you, the choices that you had to make to survive them, those things changed you deep down. And they changed your body too. Maybe you gave birth and your body never quite felt like yours again. Maybe chronic illness moved in and changed what normal means. Maybe an injury took away something you loved doing, and maybe medication saved your life, but changed how your body looks or feels. And maybe it's just age, the slow, relentless accumulation of years that means you can't do what you used to do. And what does it feel like in your body now? Your knees ache when you climb stairs. Your back goes out from doing things that used to be easy. You need reading glasses. You're in bed before 9 p.m., not because you want to be, but because your body demands it. You can't eat the foods that you used to love. You move more carefully now, more slowly, and there's pain where there used to be ease. So you can't just decide to go back. You can't think positive and become her again because she lived in a version of the world you don't live in anymore. She lived in a version of a body that you don't live in anymore. She didn't know what you know now. She hadn't seen what you've seen, and she hadn't felt what you felt. So, yeah, maybe you're stronger now. Maybe you're wiser. Maybe you've built a life the past version of you couldn't have imagined. But strength isn't free, and wisdom costs something. And what it costs is the softness, the openness, the physical ease, the parts of you that could only exist before you knew what you know now, before your body knew what it knows now. You're allowed to love who you've become and still hurt for who you were. You're allowed to be grateful your body carried you through childbirth and still grieve the way it felt before. You're allowed to be thankful you survived an illness and still miss what you lost to it. Both things are true. Both things can live inside of you at the same time. But here's something important. Not everything you've lost is gone forever. Some things changed you at your core, yes. Some things change your body irreversibly. And those parts, they're not coming back. Your brain rewired. Your body adapted, adjusted, aged, scarred, stretched, and weakened in some places. That version of yourself who didn't know what you know now, whose body hadn't been through what yours has been through, she can't exist anymore. But there are other things. Things you didn't lose to trauma, time, or physical change. Things you just stopped doing. Things that you gave up or put down or let other people take from you. Setting boundaries, you can learn that better than she ever did. Putting your needs first, that's a choice you can make right now. Speaking up for yourself, asking for what you need, taking time for joy, for rest, for the things that light you up, those aren't parts of you that died. Those are parts of you that got buried. And buried things can be dug up. And your body, yeah, it's different, but it's still capable of pleasure, of movement, of strength, just maybe different kinds. You might not be able to run marathons anymore, but maybe you can walk. Maybe you can swim or find new ways to move that honor where your body is now, not where it used to be. So when you look at what you've lost, ask yourself, is this gone because I've fundamentally changed in my mind and my body? Or is this gone because I stopped allowing myself to do it? Did life take this from you? Did your body's limitations take it? Or did you give it away? Because some things on that list of loss, you might be mourning something you actually have the power to bring back. And not her. I know you can't bring her back, and not the body. You can't turn back time or undo what's been done. But maybe some of the things she did, some of the ways she moved through the world, some of the joy she let herself have, maybe those things are still available to you. Maybe you just forgot they were yours to claim. Maybe you just need to find new ways to access them in this body, in this life. The wisdom you have now, the strength you've built, you get to use that to protect the parts of yourself that are still soft, still playful, still allowed to take up space. And you get to be gentle with the body you have now, even as you grieve the one you had before. You may not be able to go back to who you were, but you can move forward as someone who takes the best parts of who you were and protects them fiercely this time, who honors what her body can do now, even while mourning what it used to do. This grief you're feeling, it's not a sign that you haven't healed. It's proof that you're human, that you're awake enough to notice what you've lost, that you loved yourself enough, past and present, to feel the empty space. So stop apologizing for it. Stop trying to think your way out of it, because you're not doing it wrong. You're just doing it honestly. And some of what you're mourning, you might just be able to reclaim it. But before we talk about what you can reclaim, I want you to understand why some things are really gone, because this isn't just deep thoughts. There's real science behind why you can't go back to who you were and why your body can't go back either. First, your brain reshapes itself based on your experiences. It's called neuroplasticity. When you go through trauma, major life changes, or just years of living, your brain literally rewires itself. The brain you have now is physically different from the brain you had 10 years ago. When you go through something that really changes you, your brain doesn't just add new information, it reorganizes the entire story of who you are, because you can't unknow what you know. And your body changes too. Pregnancy changes the skeletal structure, your pelvic floor, hormones, and metabolism. Some women's feet permanently grow a size. Chronic pain changes your nervous system, and your pain receptors become more sensitive, so your body learns to exist in threat response. Menopause shifts bone density, muscle mass, hormones, sleep patterns, even brain chemistry. An injury leaves scar tissue and alters your biomechanics. And then age changes your muscle composition. It wears down your cartilage and slows cellular regeneration. Here's where it gets really interesting. Trauma and chronic stress change your body at a cellular level. Your cortisol levels stay elevated, inflammation increases, and your gut microbiome shifts. And scientists have found that as we get older, we not only grieve who we were, but who we thought we'd be. We grieve the body we thought we'd have, the future possibilities we imagined, all the things we wanted to or hoped to achieve. Those things are lost to time, and that hurt magnifies as we come to grips with the fact that they are no longer possibilities. So when I say you can't get her back, your brain has changed, your body has changed. The version of you that existed before doesn't have a place to return to anymore. But here's the distinction. What you can do is work with the mind and body you have now. You can rebuild strength in new ways, find movement that honors your current limitations, reduce inflammation, and support your nervous system. Learn something new, pick up an old hobby. It's never too late to try. You can grieve what's gone while still caring for what remains. You may be different, but you're still you, and you're still capable of adapting and healing where the healing is possible. So, what do we actually do with all of this? I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to stop missing who you were or the body that used to be able to do what it used to be able to do. The goal is to figure out how to live with it, how to honor what's gone while still showing up for who you are now and the body you have now. So name what you've lost specifically, not just the old me or my old body. Get specific. What actual qualities are you mourning? What actual capabilities? Your ability to trust people quickly, your energy, your ability to run, to lift your kids without pain, to sleep through the night. Write it down. Vague grief is harder to deal with than specific grief. When you can name exactly what's missing, you can actually mourn it instead of feeling this shapeless hurt. Separate what's gone from what's buried. So look at that list again, and for each thing, ask yourself, did this change because of what I went through, because of what my body went through, or did I stop allowing myself to do this? Mark the ones that are truly gone, the parts that changed because your brain rewired, because your body can't do it anymore. Then mark the ones that you gave away, the ones you stopped doing to survive, to keep the peace, to make yourself smaller, the ones your body might still be able to do in some form if you let it. Those second ones, those you can reclaim. And let yourself grieve without a deadline. So, for the things that are truly gone, there's no time limit on grieving them. You don't have to get over it by any certain date because some losses we carry forever. The body that carried your babies and never quite recovered, the knees that won't run anymore, the chronic pain that's now just part of your existence. Grief doesn't mean you're stuck. It just means you love something enough to feel it missing. Work with your body, not against it. This grief lives in your body, so healing isn't just about thinking differently. It's about giving your body permission to feel different too. Maybe it's letting yourself cry when the wave hits. Maybe it's moving your body in ways that release tension, like gentle stretching, walking, or swimming. Maybe it's practices that help your nervous system remember safety. Your body is holding this loss. Give it ways to express what it's carrying and give it ways to discover what it can still do. Not everything is gone. Some parts of her are still in you, just quieter and shaped differently. Maybe you're not as trusting, but you're better at reading people. Maybe you're not as carefree, but now you're more grounded. And maybe you can't do what you used to do physically, but you found different strengths. And she's not completely erased. She is woven into who you are. And find the people who get it. Because not everyone understands this, and some people will try to fix it or tell you that it's not a big deal. Find the ones who can just sit with you in it. The ones that say, yeah, I miss who I used to be too. I miss what my body used to be able to do. Because you don't need advice. You need people who will witness you. And at some point, you get to ask yourself, okay, I can't be her anymore. My body can't do what it used to do. So what do I want to be now? What do I want to do now? What does this body want to be capable of within its current reality? You get to choose, even in the middle of the loss. You get to build something new, even while you're mourning what's gone. That's not moving on, that's moving forward with her, with the memory of her, with the body you have now, not the one you still wish you had. But what happens when this isn't just the occasional sadness? When the grief starts taking over? Because there's a difference between honoring who you were and hiding in who you are. So if you're using past version of yourself or your past body as a reason not to engage with your life now, that is something different. Ask yourself, am I grieving her or am I using her as an excuse not to show up for my life now in this body? And check if you're grieving or if you're feeling depressed. Because sometimes what feels like mourning your past self is actually depression. And depression loves to make the past look better, to tell you everything was better before, that the best parts of you are gone. So if this grief comes with hopelessness, isolation, and inability to feel joy or trouble functioning, that's not just loss. That's something that might need professional help. And grief and depression can exist together. Look at what you're actually avoiding right now, because sometimes we focus on missing our past selves because our current selves are dealing with something we don't want to face. a relationship that's not working, a job that's draining us, a body that needs medical attention we're scared to seek, a life that just doesn't fit anymore. And it's easier to say I miss who I was than to say I don't like who I'm being right now or I'm scared of what's happening to my body. Be honest with yourself. Is this about her or is this about you not wanting to deal with now? And notice if you're using this to beat yourself up, because some of us grieve our past selves as a way to punish ourselves, to remind ourselves of everything we've lost, everything we've failed at, all the ways we've let ourselves go. So if your grief feels like punishment, if it's less, I miss her and more, I ruined her, that is shame dressed up as grief. And shame doesn't heal through mourning, it heals through compassion. Give yourself permission to stop living in grief. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in our loss that we don't know who we are without it. If you've been mourning yourself for months or years, check in. Has this grief become who you are now? Are you holding on to it because letting go feels like losing her twice? You can remember her without making grief your whole life. You can honor what was without making it the only thing that defines you now. She wouldn't want that for you, and I think you know that. All right. Let's take a breath with me for a second because we have covered a lot of heavy stuff today. And I know that some of this may have brought up things that you've been trying not to feel, might have named losses you didn't have permission to talk about before. You've been carrying grief for someone who was you, for a body that was yours, and that's a strange, lonely kind of heartbreak. But you've shown up for this conversation and you've let yourself feel it instead of pushing it down. And that takes so much courage. So before we move into the challenge, I want you to pause, really pause, and let yourself receive something instead of just holding everything. And here's what I want to offer you. May you speak your truth with assertiveness, grace, and courage. May you be deeply rooted in the wisdom of your ancestors, guides, and angels. May you clearly see the path before you, and as new challenges arise, may you learn all lessons through love and compassion. May you be intuitively connected to your higher self, and may it pull you forward in times of question. May you be divinely connected to the infinite universal energy of all that is love. May it protect and strengthen you and bring you immense love, abundance, and joy. And also, may you honor the body that carries you now, even as you grieve the one that carried you before. And may you find gentleness for all versions of you, the ones that are gone and the one that is still here. Let that settle. Let your body receive it. You are held. All versions of you, all versions of your body, the ones that are gone and the one that is still here. Okay, here is your challenge. You have three options, and I'm going to be real with you. This one might hurt a little bit, but the kind of hurt that actually helps. So, option one, pick one thing to bring back. From your buried list, choose one thing, just one. Maybe it's setting a boundary without apologizing. Maybe it's dancing in your kitchen, even if it looks different now. Maybe it's saying, I need this out loud. Or maybe it's finding a form of movement that your body can actually do now. This week, practice bringing that one thing back. Not perfectly, not the way it used to be, just intentionally, in whatever form your body and your life can hold right now. Option two, write her a letter. Pick the loss that hurts the most, the quality you miss, or the thing your body used to be able to do, your ability to trust easily, your pain free knees, your energy, your strong back. Write to the version of yourself that still had it. Thank her. Apologize if you need to. Tell her why you miss her. Tell her what she gave you before she had to become you. Tell her what that body let you do before it became this one. And then do something intentional with that letter. Read it out loud and burn it. Light a candle while you read it. Bury it somewhere meaningful. Something that marks this as sacred. Something that says you were real and you mattered. Option three, discover something new your body can do. This one's different. This one isn't about what's gone, it's about what's still here. And your body is different now, but what can it do? So this week, try one new form of movement or one new way of caring for your body that honors where it is now. Gentle yoga instead of running, swimming instead of high impact sports, a walk in nature, foods that actually make your body feel good. The point isn't to fix your body or make it what it was. The point is to discover what it can still experience, still enjoy, still do, even if it's different. And once you've picked your challenge, pay attention to how you feel this week. Notice when the grief shows up. Notice what it feels like in your body, the tightness, the ache, the heaviness. Notice where you feel it physically. And notice if naming it changes anything. You don't have to have this all figured out. You just have to start letting yourself feel it without apologizing for it. That's it. That's the work. I want to thank you for being here with me today, for letting yourself sit in this with me, and for having the courage to name what you've been carrying quietly in your heart and in your body. This conversation matters. You matter. And the version of you that you're missing, she mattered too. If this episode hit home for you and if it put words to something you've been feeling but couldn't quite name, please subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you know someone who's been grieving themselves, their younger self, their former body, the physical capabilities they used to have, share this with them. Sometimes just knowing we're not alone in this makes it a little easier to carry. So until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Be guided by your wisdom. Honor the bodies that carry you. And may you find your bliss, Jiff.